It was 1998 and I was in my first year of high school, which was year 7. My sister was in year 9, my brother was in year 5, so he was still in primary school at this point. It was about halfway through the year and everything was going alright. I wasn't popular at school. My sister, though, was a bit more popular than me in her year at school. You would have out of the boys the popular surfies, the popular skaties, the middle class boys, and then the nerds. I hung out with the nerds. Then out of the girls, the loud popular, the quiet popular, the middle class girls, and then the nerds. These categories formed mid-year, in the first year of high school, and carried on that way until year 10. At the start of year 7, everyone was kind of floating around and making new friends, or just sticking with the same kids they knew from primary school. One day, in English class, just before class commenced, I heard someone making jokes about something about a hit list. Apparently a student, maybe in my sister's year, no one actually knew, but had written out a hit list on about 50 different students and 5 different staff members. That's quite a serious rumour and accusation. Now the whole class was talking about it, before the teacher told everyone to quieten down and to start class. At lunchtime, I went to the library to meet a few friends. The library was one of my hangout spots at lunchtime. They were sitting at the table, and as I walked over to sit down, the first thing mentioned was about the hit list. Apparently everyone knew about it now. I was now hearing that the principal's name was on the hit list. The principal was kind of strict, so that didn't surprise me. I had actually seen the principal yell at someone before. It was quite scary to witness. The deputy principal, though, he was a kind gentleman. After lunch had ended, the bell had rung 3 times, meaning we had an assembly to attend in the quadrangle. It was an emergency assembly, and of course, it was in regards to the hit list. Apparently, the list was found in one of the boys' toilets in one of the cubicles. No one knows who had written it, but it was all confirmed with the numbers, just not the names, for their protection. Surprisingly, there was a date on it as well. Not a date of when it was written, but a date of when these people would be hit. Someone knows who wrote it, but it's obviously now on the down low with them, as they don't want to be caught. My sister and I, then soon my brother, were catching the bus home, and even the other students from the other schools were talking about the hit list. It was really becoming unnerving because I didn't know whose names were on it. I hoped my name wasn't, but I felt my name wouldn't have been on it because I'm just a nerd after all. We got off at our bus stop and started walking home, and my sister was really quiet. I asked her if she was okay, but she told me she was. But I didn't believe her though. Her arms were crossed, and she looked anxious, staring down at the road as she walked. It looked like she was about to cry. I asked her again if she was okay, but now she didn't answer me. We got home and went inside, and my mum was in the kitchen cooking dinner. My sister burst out into tears and was all hysterical. "What's wrong, doll?" My mum was quite concerned, because my sister never gets upset. It's usually me, due to being bullying a lot by the popular kids. My sister explained about the hit list, and apparently her name was on it. My stomach churned, and my heart sank when I learned of this. I didn't think her name would be on it, either. I did say to my sister that not everyone had seen it. How did she know that she was on the list? But apparently, one of her male friends actually found the list, and both him and her were both on it. But she assured me that I wasn't on it. Nobody knows me apparently. In this situation, I was glad. My sister went on to tell us the date of the hit list. It was to happen in 2 days' time. My sister didn't want to go to school for the rest of the week. I didn't blame her. My mum figured that she would keep both of us at home for the rest of the week, for both of our safety. She rang the school the next day to let them know. The Monday after, we both returned back to school, and we learned apparently not many students showed up on the Friday due to the hit list. The police were even present that day and this day as well. Nothing ever came of the hit list, but with some investigation they found out who the culprit was. It was a Year 9 student, like everyone had said. The student apparently got into trouble with the police, and he was then expelled from the school.